Hello, IK here. Welcome ChatGPT instead of me. Code, user interface, user experience, UX, UI. As usual, I first start XAMPP, start Apache and MySQL. It is good to do every time when start your daily recording or learning, that you know always that you know all about your system. You work with MySQL database, with relation database, and you must switch server MySQL. Now I open application. It is Express application. Express is a web application coded in JavaScript and execute on Node.js server used for API front end with backend MySQL in this situation. I call it my dash backend, and here it is. Not 10 p.m. start, but Node server.js. I didn't start Apache, start server MySQL, start, back here, Control C, and now repeat Node server.js, enter, and here it is. Here it is, connection is successful. Now we can start our e-retail admin. Here, npm start. This is my development of e-commerce. Here I call it, it would be two separate application, public and admin. This is admin part, this is admin application. And here is admin panel. In previous video, I spoke about admin panel. It is all created ChatGPT, and I'm very satisfied with all. And now we can look at in every these options, departments, category, articles. It is CRUD for tables, CRUD for table departments, CRUD for categories, CRUD for articles, CRUD, create, read, update, delete, departments, form. Every of that CRUD, there is a form for adding new department, new category, or new article, and there is a list. Below of that list, I created in these columns, of course. I created in two columns here, but I must look at in code. In CSS, does it would be two columns or more if device screen is bigger, wider. Never mind, it is like it in my PC. And list down, you see, there is 6 departments in a list below, and below every of departments we have possibility update or delete. Okay, and it is same for category. Add category, create, read, it is what we see on the screen. It is a read, update here, and delete, CRUD. acronym CRUD, and articles. Copy form for create a new article, a list down, and every article we can update and delete. Let's get see departments. You look at that form is center alignment. Why? Because of mobile first. Look at when we go in mobile dimensions, you have a form excellent, and it is always when we have content narrow, more narrow than screen, we centered it. Or also some text can be text, image, etc. We centered it because of a mobile first design. Okay, mobile first, and here is a list. Can we look that HTML structure what created ChatGPT, and CSS. All that created ChatGPT. In previous video, you can see that process, and I'm very satisfied with ChatGPT. Of course, I can experiment and send and command to ChatGPT. Okay, remove this UI UX and create and code some other version of possibility design for admin panel. Code, look at code. It is server, it is terminal. You see Express, what was coded also by ChatGPT. It is separate React application. What I install inside here is e-retail admin. In what I save inside of here it is my backend. Here it is server.js, and you must open this separate text editor and application e-retail admin in other. I have two windows, two Visual Studio Code. Here is my backend. Here is e-retail admin, and here in backend, I need it for start backend, start server Express, and here I need it for start and e-retail admin. E-retail admin. I don't need big picture of terminal. Let's get see public. Okay, you have here in the database also. It is e-retail SQL also created me ChatGPT, but I have that. I have that in Croatian language, for example, fields, name of fields, and I said that ChatGPT translate me that Croatian name of fields in English name of fields, for example. I always repeat, it is important that you understand. You cannot work with ChatGPT, ask something, if you don't know nothing about that, because here my explanation is learning, deep learning about matter. It is unique. Also, you have a lot of explanation and you know what is the best for you. But my explanation is unique and other explanation is unique. But ChatGPT cannot explain as I can, cannot explain as any man can explain. Because pedagogy, psychology of explanation, it is only possible to man. But when you understand, it is the process of deep learning. It is a separate process of all other processes in market, in working place. But when we understand something after that, ChatGPT can help us because we have a fundament, we have words, terms, what we use. We can ask more explanation from ChatGPT, and you will understand it because you have fundament, the text received from other men. You men received from other men, from teachers, from professors, from people who like it, who like explain, who like deep understand, deep learning, and after that explain. Because every professor, teachers, is not a teacher and professor because of money. It is for sure, because in every country that payroll for teachers and professors is not so big as maybe in other industry. And because of that, professors and, but of course, they have satisfied position. They can live of their paying and their earnings. But of course, principal reason that they like their job, they like explain, okay, they like teach. And they depend about feedback from students. It is impossible and impossible teach without feedback. Feedback guide teaching. Feedback guide teacher. Okay, here it is eRetail SQL. This you can copy in a table in your database in MySQL. Here it is. Okay, let's see the down up features, departments, category departments. Okay, let's see to add the department forms. It is CSS. And before that, let's get see in JS. And here it is HTML. What add ChatGPT. In a previous video, we created JS6 with minimal. I created it with minimal HTML because our focus was on programming in React, in JavaScript, programming in JS6, but with minimal HTML. Focus would be on JavaScript and programming code. Programming. After that, I asked ChatGPT code, user interface, and user UX, user experience. And ChatGPT created HTML what the need create, include in JSX, and include class CSS, and created separate page of CSS. And here it is. It is always in return, but can be in other places, for example. Okay, here is on in return. And look at the div. And it is always in container. Div in container and form container, this name, this coding ChatGPT. But I know when I coding by hand all years until now, always put complete our page in class container. Here is a class name, but it would be class after processing, after rendering. But class name must be because class exists in React like keyword. And because of that, we here write class name. And all together is in inside of that division HTML div and class name form container. All other division is in all other elements is inside of it. It is always like that for every component would be. And okay, we have form. We have div class form group. In that group, we have label, we have input. Input all, it is all HTML attribute. It is HTML attribute. It is attribute of input element. And I spoke a lot about it in a previous video. 2 years I spoke about programming. And now, like Relax, ChatGPT work for me because the user interface is a very, very important and very, very creative job. And people who work it today, they must know programming, but they like create interface, and they are arts in design of that interface, and programming is something strange, but more and more front-end developers would learn, deep understand JavaScript programming, because it is complicated. Call something that work with you, that program JavaScript, you create user interface. Of course, bigger company, there is that separation, but mini company, there is no possible of separation of job, and people must front end or back end go and learn front end. That one person can be a full stack developer, because in a mini company, maybe there is no income to have to workplace, to separate two people, for separate job for two people. There isn't a job. There is no job for many company for separate people. But if there is, they would be two and more people. Okay, and I think his process is to go to full stack programmers. But of course, you don't know where you would work and how you would be growing in what direction. It depends of your working place. Div class group. It means that div class group. Look at it is again div class group. Here is a finished div class group. Here is again div class group. It is text area, label text area. Again, text area. It is important element here in form and finish div. Now button. Button is outside of that div, and here is attribute of button. And here is logic, button finished, and form finished, some logic again, div finished, it's all. And I recommend you, always have paper on your table, always have pen and tools for that pen. Okay, and with pen you draw on the paper that div, and you draw and draw position, how they would be positioned. We don't know from this how they would be positioned. We must look at in CSS, but we know what we want. We want in two columns. Here it is. In two columns, pardon, we look at in form. Title, it is group. Group div for this group, and again, repeating this part. And altogether is a container. And text area. Here is a text area. Here is a title for text for input box. Okay. It is centered now. When we know what we want, but we want, for example, we want this kind of design. Now we go to see my backend. Here is a CSS. Here is CSS. Form container. Here is a comment. It's absolutely something we need. Look at how great alignment of this code created ChatGPT. It is final product. Thanks ChatGPT. And general form container styles. Comment must be. Without comment, we would be loose in bigger and bigger growing application. Form container, there is a background color white. Here is a total white. form container. Let's get C. Let's get C. Look at, here is white. We now see that background white, and we see what is form container, form. All form is in it, inside of that div. But background behind, background of white, of that form, is some variant of gray. From what coming it, we will see. Okay. It must be body. Background of body. Every of it is same, consistent. Okay. Now we go back, get back. Okay, background color, padding. You listen, you must know CSS. There is excellent school for CSS on the internet. Padding 20 pixels, and for padding is 20 pixels. Where it is? It is all around for padding. Here it is. It is distance from here. From edge of white background of div until letters D, beginning of text. It is 20 pixels. Also from top padding, left, right padding. You will see input, there is also pending from this border around input. Also text area, there is a pending. Okay. Padding, border radius. You will see we have some circle on the some circle here. It is not sharp. Angle is not sharp, angle of input and text area, but and also background, but some circle, radius 8 pixel. Box shadow also. Box shadow. We have a box shadow without it. And look at max width. Max width. What it means? It means max width would be 400 pixel, but when there is no space for max, would be smaller. Okay, for example, some Mobitel, you see it is smaller. Now it is 400 pixel, but now is maybe also but now is less than 400. Box shadow. Okay, you can now you can learn from this concretely that you ask ChatGPT for every of that properties. All that I won't call properties. Form container is class. it is separator classes, separate part of HTML. And here is properties of that group, that part of HTML, that class. And padding for the red box shadow max width, and you can experiment with with the different numbers. You can write different numbers, and you can see reaction, what happened, for example, 50. Now, the department. Okay. No, it is 200. 0. You can experiment with the number and ask ChatGPT, copy it, for example, Control C, go to ChatGPT, and ask to explain in some example. Max width margin, this combination of 0, it means top and bottom when we have two values. First value, top bottom margin, would be 0. Auto means that automatically would be left and right margin. Automatically space, how it is possible. For example, we know that 100 pixel is maximum width, but if screen is wide, bigger, we have space left and right margin would be same. Automatically, auto means that left and the right margin would be same. Top and bottom 0. This we spoke about group. It is margin. It means that margin 0, but padding, they give us distance. We distance text from edge of white background, regulate with padding instead of margin. Okay, you can ask ChatGPT why. Why is, in this concrete situation, why you create padding instead, why you use for distance padding instead of margin in concretely this situation. And ChatGPT would explain you. Because my explanation, this concretely, I'm now in a movie of explanation of coding JS part, JSX. And but momentarily it is not school of CSS, but you can ask explanation of and communicate with ChatGPT what you for every situation. Why padding and not margin? And ChatGPT is excellent for that explanation. Okay, look at now. It is margin and width. Look at we use padding and margin. Don't use margin. Margin is 0 and auto, and the width in comments, ensure the form fits well on mobile screens. What does it mean? It is that comment to also write ChatGPT. What means that with 90%? It means that when device is narrower than 400 pixels, form would be 90%, not entire wide, not on device age from age. It would not be user experience. It would not be good, but must be 90%. It means that we always have distance from age of device. Let's see that. Here it is, 400. There is a place. And now there is a no place. Look at it is less than 400. But form is not age to age. Form is in the center, but form there is some distance from age of devices. How much distance? 5% left, 5% right. Or, okay, yes, it is it. Width of form is 90%, not 100% all over entire left to right dimension of device. No, it is 90%. Okay, what right? Ensure the form fits well on mobile screen. Okay, but you see how this explanation of ChatGPT and my explanation is land and sky different. Land and sky different. And ChatGPT is excellent for explanation when you know all, when you know that topic, when you know what you ask. Form, title, style, okay, it is good explanation. Form, title, style, comment, excellent. H3, form group, it is for input and for text area. Look at margin button. Margin button, pattern 15, it is distance from group, from input one group, and here is a margin. You now understand why use padding inside of form, about form, because it is altogether, it is in form group for all form padding, but inside distance from elements, input, and the text area, we use form group class, and we use margin bottom, not top but bottom. It is here it is. This is input, and distance from input and text area, input and text area is 15 pixels, margin bottom. margin button, and it is strictly for a difference between HTML element inside of form button, margin button. Label styling, okay. Margin button, font weight, bold, the text area styling, input type text area. Both it is for input and for text area together with 100% padding, border radius, font size, box sizing, and box sizing, border box. Okay, it is text area resize, vertical, high, adjust text area. Okay, you ask ChatGPT for detail, because it is your experience. You must exercise, and you active exercise, not passive listening now to me. Okay, what would be focus? And look at now, and focus. Focus is this border would be blue. You look at when click border, look at in border blue. Okay, learn button save. It is enough for add departments form. And okay, next video we will see list departments list. Thank you for watching this video.